The bell rang to start the fight, and instantly Jaime Munguia came out with confidence. Stepping forward with his sharp jab, using his height and reach advantage to keep Takeshi Inoue at a distance, Munguia, known for his ferocious power and aggressive fighting style, snapped his left jab straight into Inoue's guard and followed it up with a quick right hand to the body. Inoue, however, showed no fear. The Japanese warrior kept his gloves high, moving forward with short steps. His eyes locked on Munguia's chest as he tried to read his rhythm and slip inside to land his own punches. Munguia continued to pump his jab, trying to control the distance and prevent Inoue from getting close. He feinted with his lead hand and unleashed a powerful left hook that landed flush on Inoue's cheek, forcing him to reset his feet. But Inoue shook it off immediately and charged forward again. Attempting to close the gap, Munguia fired another crisp combination, a jab followed by a right uppercut that snapped Inoue's head back. But the Japanese fighter just kept pressing on, absorbing the punishment with his granite chin. He landed a short right hook to Munguia's ribs, showing that he was here to fight and not just survive. In the second round, Munguia continued his assault, throwing powerful combinations with speed and accuracy. His right hand landed repeatedly over Inoue's high guard, followed by vicious left hooks to the body, every time Inoue tried to respond. With his own punches, Munguia stepped back, created space, and countered with precise shots that stunned Inoue momentarily. The crowd roared every time Munguia landed a clean punch, sensing his power and dominance. But Inoue kept coming forward, relentless, pushing Munguia against the ropes at times, unleashing wild overhand rights and body shots, trying to slow down the Mexican champion's attack. Munguia used his footwork effectively, circling away from Inoue's power hand, then stepping in with a thunderous left hook to the body. Inoue grunted, but responded with a jab to the chest and an overhand right that grazed Munguia's temple. Munguia smiled, almost taunting him, then fired back with a brutal uppercut that caught Inoue flush under the chin. The punch jolted Inoue's head back, and sweat sprayed from his hair under the bright arena lights. The crowd erupted in cheers. For Munguia's sharp counter, still Inoue refused to step back. He shook his gloves as if to tell Munguia to bring more. By the third round, Munguia began to increase his work rate, throwing blistering combinations, mixing punches to the head and body to break down Inoue's guard. His left hook to the body followed by an uppercut upstairs was particularly effective, landing multiple times and visibly hurting Inoue. But Inoue displayed remarkable toughness, absorbing the blows, moving forward like an unbreakable machine, trying to land his short hooks whenever he got close. He pressed Munguia against the ropes briefly and fired a series of hooks to his ribs and a right hand to his jaw, forcing Munguia to cover up momentarily. Munguia fired back with vicious intent, landing a hard right hand that shook Inoue to his boots. Inoue wobbled but did not fall. He immediately grabbed Munguia in a clinch to recover. The referee separated them, and Munguia went back on the attack, landing a sharp jab and a right cross that snapped Inoue's head back again. The Japanese fighter gritted his teeth and continued marching forward, his face now showing signs of the punishment he was taking. His right eye was beginning to swell from the repeated left hooks and jabs Munguia kept landing with precision. As the fourth and fifth rounds unfolded, Munguia's dominance continued. He threw punches with incredible speed and volume, mixing in uppercuts, body hooks, and straight rights, keeping Inoue guessing and forcing him to stay defensive. Yet Inoue never stopped coming forward, even after absorbing countless punches. He kept throwing his jab to Munguia's chest and overhand rights, trying to land something significant to change the momentum. Munguia's corner urged him to remain disciplined, telling him to keep using his jab and avoid standing still in front of Inoue. In the sixth round, Munguia unleashed a flurry of punches that had the crowd screaming. He landed an uppercut, left hook, right hook, and another uppercut in rapid succession, snapping Inoue's head in every direction. But somehow, Inoue stayed on his feet, his legs wobbling but refusing to give way. Munguia kept pressing, throwing another vicious left hook to the body that made Inoue gasp. But the Japanese fighter responded with a left hook of his own, catching Munguia's chin. It wasn't enough to hurt him badly, but it reminded Munguia, that Inoue was still dangerous if underestimated. The 7th and 8th rounds showed more of the same, with Munguia dominating with combinations, landing punches from every angle, while Inoue showed his unbreakable spirit, absorbing them all, and firing back whenever he saw an opening. Munguia landed a devastating right uppercut that snapped Inoue's head back violently, and many in the crowd thought he would go down, but Inoue somehow stayed upright, his knees bending slightly, but his resolve unshaken. He fired back with an overhand right and a left hook to the body, trying desperately to slow Munguia down. In the 9th round, Munguia turned up the pressure again, throwing powerful hooks and uppercuts that had Inoue on the ropes. The referee watched closely, ready to step in if Inoue stopped defending himself. But the Japanese fighter continued to throw punches back, showing he was still in the fight. Munguia landed a thunderous left hook to the body that forced Inoue to clinch once again to recover. Munguia pushed him off and fired a right hook to his temple, rocking him again. Inoue stumbled but regained his balance immediately, raising his gloves to protect himself as Munguia kept throwing heavy shots, determined to score a stoppage. As the 10th and 11th rounds progressed, Munguia seemed to slow slightly, pacing himself for the championship rounds, but his punches remained sharp and accurate. He continued landing combinations, mixing to the body and head while Inoue kept absorbing them with an iron chin. The crowd was in awe of Inoue's toughness and Munguia's relentless offense. Inoue's face was badly swollen now, his right eye almost closed, but he kept coming forward, throwing looping overhand rights and short hooks to Munguia's ribs whenever he got close enough. In the final round, Munguia came out aggressively, determined to close the show with a knockout. He unleashed a vicious flurry of punches, left hooks, right uppercuts, body hooks, and straight rights that battered Inoue all over the ring. But Inoue showed the heart of a true samurai, refusing to go down no matter how many punches he absorbed. Munguia landed another brutal right uppercut that snapped Inoue's head back, followed by a left hook to the temple that wobbled him badly. But still, he stayed on his feet, clinching momentarily to recover. As the final seconds ticked away, Munguia threw everything he had left, firing a barrage of hooks and uppercuts. But Inoue held strong, refusing to give Munguia the satisfaction of a knockout. The bell rang to end the fight, and the crowd erupted in thunderous applause for both warriors. Munguia raised his gloves high, confident of victory after dominating the entire fight with his power, speed, and combinations, while Inoue raised his hands too. He was proud that he had gone the distance with one of the most dangerous young champions in boxing without ever going down. The judges scored the fight unanimously in favor of Jaime Munguia, who retained his title with an impressive performance, showcasing his devastating punching power and relentless offensive skills. Takeshi Inoue, despite losing every round, earned the respect of everyone watching for his incredible toughness, unbreakable spirit, and willingness to fight back no matter how much punishment he absorbed. It was a fight that showed Munguia's dominance in Inoue's heart, a true display of boxing's brutal beauty and the warrior spirits of Mexico and Japan.